Let's talk about the high places. Now, Jesus said concerning the devil that he saw Satan fall as lightning from heaven. Why did Satan fall from heaven? Why did God kick him out? Very simple. Satan wanted the high place. Satan wanted the most high place that only belonged to God. And do you know that there's a high place in heaven, and there's a high place in this city, and there's a high place in your heart that only belongs to God? And you know what we do? We give in to temptation and we allow other things to take that place that only belongs to God. And those very things will bring you down. Now, you know what the devil did when he was kicked out of heaven? He came here and he established high places against us, against you and me, as individuals. He came here in a rage. Not only against God, but God's creation. And the Bible says this is our warfare. It's against principalities, it's against darkness, it's against powers in high places. Now, what is it like when the devil has a high place against you? I'll tell you what it's like. You're trying to go forward and you can't go forward. When the devil's got a high place against you, he'll take your life, he'll totally turn it around, he'll make it the opposite of what it should be, and he'll look at you and he'll laugh. And that's exactly what the Allies had to deal with when they came in against the Germans, because when they landed on the beaches, the Germans were all there on the high places, firing, shooting. Many casualties as they landed on the beach, as they tried to deal at the high places. And let me tell you here today, there's many casualties out here today because the devil has a high place against you. But I'm going to tell you the gospel right here today. The gospel is always good news. And it's good news on many different levels. And I'm going to tell you why it's good news. Because Jesus came down to this earth to take the devil down from the high place that he has against you. He already took the devil down when he was in heaven, but he was going to bring him lower than that. He was going to take him from heaven to earth, and he was going to take him from the point that he's got on you, and he was going to take him down. As a matter of fact, when they tried to take Jesus down, that was the devil's takedown. And the Bible says that when Jesus rose from the dead, what did he do? Listen, it said he ascended unto high places and he gave men gifts. And there's gifts that God wants to give you, not only salvation. And let me tell you right now, every gift that God would give you becomes a weapon, not just a blessing. It would become a weapon against the enemy. The weapon that you need. See, many of you out here today, you're fighting with the wrong weapons. You're trying to take problems down in your life. You're trying to take each other down. And I can tell you got the wrong battle by the weapons that you're using. You want to know the first American mass shooter? You want to know why he did what he did? Because he saw his dad use the wrong weapons against his own mother, his hands, as he beat his mother. And when he got married, he promised himself, I'm never going to do that to my wife. But guess what? He did it. And he hated himself for it, and he hated the world for it. A lot of times, when the enemy has a high place against you and you're not winning, you end up hating yourself, you end up getting angry at the world. And he climbed that clock tower at the University of Texas. He went to that high place and he shot 14 people dead. Because he couldn't take down the high places in his life. And many of you can't. But the good news of the gospel is Christ came to take the devil down from the place he has in your life and to give you gifts. You say, man, what are these gifts? I'll tell you one thing that is a gift of God and a weapon against the enemy. It's a cup that's full. How many out here today have a cup that's full? Not of alcohol. Not a bank account. Joy. The joy of the Lord. Some of you out here today, God has touched you once. And God has given you an understanding of who He is and what He wants to fill in your cup. All you've got to do is lift it up. And God will give you joy. And the Bible says the joy of the Lord is your strength. You know you got joy, that's a blessing, and that's a weapon the devil can't deal with. That will jack the devil up. You want to know another thing that God would give you that's a blessing and a weapon against the enemy? It's God's understanding, and many of you don't have that. You go through your trials, and you go through your difficulties, as we all have to face it, but you don't have God's understanding. God is not teaching you. He's not showing you. But He wants to. And I'll tell you why Joseph was in that jail for 7 years, and he never got bitter, because his cup was full, and he had God's understanding. He knew that God is so good that no way would He let him rot in a jail for 7 years. And some of you say, well, I'm here because of the consequences of my decisions. But guess what? God is still gracious. He can still get you out. One of the last blessings that God could give you would be love. I'm still looking for a cup full of love. The devil can't deal with that. And all of that would take him down. And friends, once the enemy has been taken down in your life, that's when you begin to go out there with love and sincerity and humility, and you say, man, I want to see the devil taken down from that person's life and that person's life. And you have something in you. You have a confidence. You have a testimony. You know. Now, Jesus saw the devil fall from heaven. And Jesus has seen the devil fall for many of your lives if you've trusted Him. But He's going down further. He's going down to the bottomless pit. Man, that's pretty low. And it's going to happen. And you know, when the devil goes down, there's going to be a lot of rejoicing. But not just because of the fact that God finally dealt with the devil. I'll tell you why there's going to be rejoicing. Because you're going to say, man, God dealt with the devil in my life. Man, God took him down in my life. Man, what rejoicing will there be if you go in eternity, man, and He still had a high place over you? But friends, I'm going to rejoice because I'm going to say, yes, He took him down in my life. And He can take him down in your life. And you can begin to have authority. I can declare that to you today.